Hello everyone! I'm Koharu Saito, your Soul Protector VTuber, and welcome to the first episode of Soul Exchange. So what is Soul Exchange, you might ask? Well, Soul Exchange is where I'll be sharing some tips, advice, recommendations on the topic that will be told in this series. And for today's topic we have is manhwa. As you may know, in my debut sites I put manhwa in my likes because I love reading manhwa. All the hot guys and hot girls. I mean, what? If you don't know these manhwas, these were from the novels created by the authors, and now they've been created into a manhwa version. Manhwas are like comics, as some people say, but these drawings are like a anime type drawing. In today's topic, I'll be sharing you some of the 5 manhwa stories I highly recommend people to read, because some of these manhwas I'll be telling you will pique your interest as well the story itself. Some of these manhwas I'll recommend are completed and ongoing. So let's begin, shall we? The first manhwa is Who Made Me a Princess. This story is about how the female protagonist was killed by her own biological father in her first life. It is just a silly bedtime story until the woman from the second life wakes up to suddenly become that unfortunate princess. She needs to plan to survive her doomed fate. One of those plans were Plan A was to live as quietly as possible without being noticed by her own father. Plan B was to collect enough money to escape the palace, and for Plan C was to sweet talk her way into her father's good graces. I recommend this story because this story is quite good. Because for me, I can relate to the female protagonist, and I know that people can relate to her. Being hated by your parents, being unrecognized by them is really hard, as well as being ignored by them as well. But as time progresses, your parents will learn to love you and recognize you as their own child. This story is good and quite sad at the same time. There's over 125 chapters, but in progress of making the side stories as well. This story is also going to have its own anime adaptation coming soon on the year 2024. Without any specific month where it is, but be aware of the year, which is next year, 2024. This story is also quite popular, and I've seen also a lot of people make edits of this story on TikTok, which is crazy. So let's move on to our next manhwa. For the next manhwa, this story progressed when a girl named Song Ji Hyun is a surgeon as well as a genius doctor appointed as the youngest lecturer at Seoul University. She carries memories of her previous life as Elise de Clorens, who lived as a wicked woman. Suddenly, an unexpected accident occurs, and when she wakes up, she's back in her previous life as Elise de Clorens. This is such a good story actually, because for those who want to become a doctor in the future, this manhwa shows how the female protagonist had to go through some hardships to reach to where she is. The female protagonist lived in her second life because of what happened in her first life, but then due to an accident, she woke up in her previous life. She was happy and decided to become a doctor in this life because she wants to atone her sins. She wants to see her family again, as well as atone her sins that happened in her first life. I could understand the female protagonist. She had to work hard to achieve her dreams, and I feel like she is an inspiration to people who want to become a doctor, as well inspire many people to achieve their career dreams in the future. So the story is actually completed, and I recommend this manhwa to people who want some inspiration and motivation, as well as setting a goal. Also, this manhwa will also have its anime adaptation on January 2024. Its trailer just dropped months ago, so go check it out as well. The next manhwa I'll recommend is something very much I feel like many people would like to hear about this. Have you ever felt like you've wanted your family's love, but they love your step siblings or like your younger siblings, and that they want you gone or kicked you out? The feeling of being betrayed by your own family? Well, I'm gonna tell you about this next manhwa that I think people should read, or I should say recommended. The story is about where the female lead's brother asks her to die in place of their younger sister, Gabrielle. Her dignified brother begged her for the first time. he wants her to die for their stepsister, whom they don't even share a drop of blood with. She always been miserable, and there's no exception this time. The seventh time that she was betrayed and killed, she was completely free of lingering feelings. She won't be swayed by love anymore in this life, and she decided to abandon them first in this life. To be honest, I think some people can relate to her. Being betrayed by the people whom you want their love and protection, but in the end you never had them. But then, in this life, she decides to be strong and decide to not be swayed by love anymore. She decided to be independent woman. I would say this guys to you, or wait, I will say this to you guys, that you need to stay strong. I know that there are people out there who will protect you because there are people who will stand by your side. Don't let the people who betrayed you bring you down, but you need to stand up and be independent and strive forward to achieve your dreams. Don't let anyone, toxic people, your fake friends, or even not letting the people who would bring you down make you like this. You have to stand strong, achieve your dream, and prove them wrong. Okay? I recommend this story to people to read because this story is full of romance and angst, as well as fantasy. This is still an ongoing manhwa, so if you want to know how the female lead progressed in her new life, then read this manhwa. It's such a good character, and I love the female lead. Oh, she's hot. She's like a mommy. I feel like everyone has this feeling, that the feeling of having a crush on someone and kept it for years and didn't tell that person until you're old enough. Well, I'm gonna tell you about this next manhwa. I think you might like and be interested in reading it. The story is about where Sungji falls in love with her brother's friend, Duanja Sho. The boy who often comes to her has to play with her brother. Years after she joined the university in the city he now lives, and during their day-to-day interaction, they slowly fall in love. This story is actually good, and even though it's not quite popular, it's actually good for people to read, because this story is a captivating and heartwarming youth romance drama that explores the theme of love, friendship, and personal growth. This manhwa has already had its C-drama adaptation that was recently released this year. The story is worth reading it and as well watching it in the C-drama version. I for once loved this story so much that I rewatched it over and over again because of how good the story is, and I would recommend people to read this. Because you could feel like you're related to these characters, about you're hiding your feelings and then you have to wait until you're old enough to confess to him, or wait for the right time to confess to that person. For the next one, in some people's cases, they say that humans can't love a vampire because humans have a short life while vampires can live long. Well then, I'm here to show you guys this manhwa that I think you will like, and how these two main characters had many obstacles and had their ups and downs to work so hard to be where they are and able to achieve the love and friendship between humans and vampires. The story is about a noble vampire prince falls for a menial human blood servant, from refusal to acceptance. She begins to worry about him and solve problems for him. However, there are gaps of status, classes, and hatred between them. It is confrontation between vampires and humans. The story is completed and has over 197 chapters, and as well some side stories as well. Not only this manhwa is completed, but it also has its own anime adaptation as well, with over 12 episodes, and was released around September 1st, 2022 and ended at November 3, 2022. Even though this is not popular, but the story is good to read, as well as watch in the anime itself. These are the 5 manhwas I would recommend to people who are interested in reading them. If you want another episode on this, let me know in the comment section. That's all for this Soul Exchange. Let me know as well in the comment section on which manhwa on stories are your favorite. But till then, you have to make your appointment. Bye bye, my cadets! I'll see you all in the next Soul Exchange. Bye bye!